Hello, everyone. Killswitch43 back for another episode of Game of Thrones. Still in part one. Just got started. Let's get going.
My sister, she was only 8 years old.
This never would have happened with the Starks in power. It's unimaginable. Unacceptable. You have my condolences.
Thank you, Maester.
The blade cut deep, but I should be able to save your leg. Your justice was swift. Some will call it vengeance. No doubt the Whitehills will claim it was murder. It was your family. I can't say I would have done any different than you. But the Whitehills won't see it that way.
I'd do it again if I had the chance.
If we don't respond with strength, they won't stop until they have everything. These maggots ought to help prevent infection. Hold the wound open for me, would you?
Oh, fun. Nice.
These are dark days, I fear. To lose the lord of the house and the eldest son through such a despicable act of treachery and betrayal. Greater houses than ours have fallen in times such as this. The late Lord Forrester was a good man. And poor Roderick. A serious man, but he would have made a good lord.
Our house will never fall.
By the gods, let's hope you're right. The future of this house is in Lord Ethan's hands now, although he is young and altogether unprepared to lead. Right. This might hurt a bit. Hold this for me, will you? I understand from your uncle that Lord Forrester saved your life.
He did.
Rather odd, though, that he chose to save you, his squire, and not his son Roderick. Not that Roderick couldn't handle himself. He was as good with a sword as any man I've seen. It's unfortunate the Citadel doesn't train maesters in the art of warcraft.
That's not how it happened. Roderick had already fallen.
Well, I'd imagine Lord Forrester would sacrifice himself to save anyone from his house, high or low. Lady Forrester will be here any moment now. I'd like you to walk for me first, to see if you can put any weight on that leg. Go on. Don't stop now. It's better to let the blood circulate.
Okay. Looking at stuff.
The Ironwood Grove. An ironwood shield.
The strongest wood in the known world. You seem to be favoring it. Always sad to see a warrior lose a leg.
I'm fine, Maester Ortingrin. Look, I'll show you. Mirror. Still in King's Landing, I suppose. Although, I wonder if they'll bring her home. Asher. Exiled to Essos, unfortunately. Talia and Ethan. I suppose Lord Ethan now. Lady Forrester. She's always been kind to me. Treated me like I was a Forrester myself. Ryan. Never easy being the fourth-born son. Lord Forrester. It was an honor to squire for him. Gregor the Good. Roderick. He was our best warrior by far.
More.
I may be mistaken. You do seem able to put weight on it.
Let's go in the codex here and look up more information on Forrester. Gregor Forrester, Lord of Ironwrath. Lord Forrester is lord of a strong, well, was lord of a strong northern house and a bannerman of House Stark. As a youth, he famously arm wrestled Galbert Glover for the privilege of becoming the man's squire. Glover later joked that he'd gladly lose the match all over again. Gregor married Alyssa Branfield, a daughter of Southron Targaryen loyalists. Before Robert Baratheon seized the Iron Throne, Gregor ascended to the lordship after his father died at the Trident and has led House Forrester during the 16 years since. Lady Alyssa Forrester. Alyssa Forrester was born to House Branfield, a minor Southron house that was destroyed when the Targaryen dynasty fell. She had been married to Gregor for many years when Robert's rebellion signaled her family's demise, yet she nonetheless felt conflicted between her father's loyalties and her husband's. In time, Alyssa came to feel that Ironwrath was her true home, and she embraced the role as the Forrester matriarch. She has silently sworn that she'll never see her family destroyed again. Roderick Forrester. Lord Forrester's eldest son, Roderick, was trained from an early age to shoulder the burdens of leadership. In truth, he was built for the role, strong, charismatic, and formidable on the battlefield. When Robb Stark called his banners to war, Lord Forrester and Roderick to stay behind. Lord Forrester asked Roderick to stay behind and protect Ironwrath, but Roderick would have none of it. Instead, he rode off at his father's side and led the Forrester cavalry with such valor that his name came to be feared amongst the ranks of Lannister soldiers. Asher Forrester. Ash, exiled second son. Asher had always been a rebellious youth, brawling in taverns, sleeping with whores, finding ways to raise his father's ire. But his life took a dark turn when, at the age of 17, he fell in love with Gwen Whitehill, the eldest daughter of his father's bitter rival. Bloodshed ensued, and Lord Forrester faced a grim choice: go to war or exile Asher across the narrow sea. He chose the latter. Asher remains in the SS to this day, living as a sellsword, trying not to think about the life he left behind. Ugh. Hope he's not bitter about that, just saying. Mira Forrester. Mira had always been fond of Ironwrath, but Lady Forrester, wanting her eldest daughter to learn the ways of a southern court, arranged for Mira to serve as a handmaiden to Marjorie Tyrell. To Mira's great surprise, she enjoyed attending on Marjorie at Highgarden and followed her to King's Landing with enthusiasm. Life in the capital has not been easy for Mira, as her straightforward northern ways are often at odds with the subtleties of court life, but she also has more guile than she realizes. Interesting. Ethan Forrester. Whereas his elder brothers were natural warriors, Ethan always found himself drawn to pursuits of the mind, particularly music and books. He also bore a great love for the towering trees of Ironwrath, a love he still shares with his twin sister Talia. Ethan was just a boy when House Forrester joined the War of the Five Kings, but by war's end he had been thrust into a role he was unprepared for. On cool autumn evenings, Ethan can still be heard playing his lute in the Ironwood Grove. Talia Forrester. During her fourth pregnancy, Lady Forrester dreamed that she would birth a daughter with a voice like the summer rain. But as fate would have it, she gave birth to a boy. The infant Ethan wailed for hours until Lady Forrester entered a second labor, this time birthing a girl. She named the girl Talia after her own mother, and from then on, Ethan hardly ever cried. Her dream came true, for there's no sound in Ironwrath more lovely than that of Talia singing as her brother plays the lute. That's cool. Ryan Forrester. The last of the Forrester children, Ryan grew up idolizing his elder siblings and spent many an hour chasing Ethan and Talia through the grove. His youth has been pleasant and shielded from responsibility, but recently Ryan's innocence has begun to fade. When the war began, Ryan was too young to understand why Roderick and his father were leaving home, but the grim realities of a house at war has been impossible to avoid, and Ryan has now asks questions for which his siblings have no easy answers. Jared Tuttle. This is who we've been playing. Jared was raised on stories of heroism about the likes of Arthur Dane and Simeon Stareyes. Though the son of a pig farmer, he has always aspired to one day become a warrior himself. With the help of his uncle Duncan, who had risen from low-born origins to become Castellan of Ironwrath, Jared found work in Lord Forrester's stables, rising through the ranks to eventually be named as squire. Jared has served Lord Forrester throughout the long months in King Robb's army and is ready to be a warrior in his own right. Duncan Tuttle, Castellan of Ironwrath. As a boy, Duncan showed such talent for managing his family's farm that everyone assumed he'd one day take over, but Duncan was fated to run more than fields in a pig pen. In time, he struck up an unlikely friendship with Gregor Forrester, the heir to House Forrester. The two grew close, and when Gregor became lord, he named Duncan his castellan. Many eyebrows were raised, but Duncan proved himself worthy and has served the house well in the long years since. Sir Royland de Gore. Roland de Gore joined Lord Forrester's army after his family was wiped out by Ironborn during Balon Greyjoy's rebellion. De Gore had a natural grasp of military tactics and strategy and came to play a crucial role in the siege of Pike that ended the war. In the months that followed, King Robert awarded Royland a knighthood, and Lord Forrester asked him to serve as Ironrath's master-at-arms. Sir Royland still holds the position and is known for his military expertise as well as his legendary temper. Maester Ortengren. Originating from a minor house in the Vale, Maester Ortengren studied at the Citadel in the hope of being assigned to the Eyrie. But by the time he'd earned enough links on his chain to graduate from an acolyte, Jon Arryn had been murdered and the South was in turmoil. The Citadel ultimately assigned Maester Ortengren to Ironrath, where he soon came to respect the Forrester family's honor and integrity. He now serves the Forresters with pride and has become a trusted advisor to the Lord. Malcolm Bronfield. As a young man, Malcolm was the black sheep of the Branfield family. He liked to roam the countryside in the style of a hedge knight, refusing his father's offers of marriage and lands. Malcolm fought bravely alongside his brothers when House Branfield fell, yet he and his sister were the only two survivors. Malcolm now lives with Lady Alyssa's new family in Ironrath, though he still tends to disappear for weeks at a stretch. Malcolm has fathered no children, thus he is the last of the Branfield line. Okay. And lastly, Ironrath. An imposing stronghold surrounded by towering ironwood trees, Ironrath marks the ancestral home of House Forrester. Built over 1,500 years ago by Cedric Forrester and his triplet sons, Ironrath is a testament to the strength and endurance of Ironwood itself. More than one visitor has called Ironrath the most striking keep in the north. Even Ned Stark was said to be envious. Ironrath sits on the edge of the largest ironwood forest in Westeros, which has proven to be a strategic advantage for the house. Okay, a lot of good information there. I appreciate all the background. Sorry if that was not what you want to see, but I wanted to get as much lore and juicy background as I could. Alright, back to it. Look at the medical supplies. Look at the bucket. There's maggots. Cleaning my wounds with maggots. Touch them.
Rather cute little creatures, aren't they?
I guess.
If you say so. Let's see.
No, you see there? You're limping again.
I'm fine, really.
Anything else to look at over here?
Keep moving. I need to see you walk.
Okay. I'll show you this.
It's a good thing you've done, bringing that back to House Forrester. By right, that belongs to Lord Ethan now. That sword has been handed down through 50 generations of Forresters. Did your leg feel weak?
No. I just wanted to ask you. Who is the new Lord of House Forrester?
Why, Ethan, of course. At the Citadel, I swore an oath to serve whichever noble house I was assigned. Advising the late Lord Forrester was an honor. Advising Ethan, his third-born son, is challenging. There's still so much he has to learn, yet the very fate and future of this house rests in his hands. Which is rather frightening when you think about it.
What will happen to me now?
Excellent question. Under normal circumstances, you could join Sir Royland and his men. Although given the circumstances of your circumstances, it becomes a bit tricky, doesn't it? I suppose it will be for Lord Ethan to decide.
Lord Forrester promoted me. At the Twins, I'm no longer a squire, if that matters.
It might, I suppose. but I'll defer to Lord Ethan on this.
Can I see Ethan? Is he here?
He is, but I'm afraid he's indisposed at the moment. He prefers not to be disturbed while practicing his lute.
Why do the Whitehills hate the Foresters?
I think it's safe to say the feeling is mutual. There's been enmity between the two houses for as long as anyone can remember. I don't doubt someone killed someone, which led to more killings of someones, and then, well, here we are.
The Whitehills want Forester Ironwood.
They'd take it all if we'd let them, especially now with the Boltons in power, and proceed to clear-cut every last inch of it until there's nothing left, just as they've done before.
Can I go now?
I believe your leg will be fine. Only time will tell, but... Lady Forrester.
Welcome home, Garrett. We're all relieved to know you survived.
Thank you, my lady.
Talia asked to see you.
Garrett, I heard what happened. Is it true? Your family... I'm so sorry.
Me too.
Off to bed now. Hurry on. Garrett was just telling me how valiantly Lord Forrester fought to the end, even when all was lost. I'm sure Lady Forrester would like to know. Whatever you can recall.
He loved his family, my lady. He was very proud of Roderick.
Yet he was unable to save him.
You were with Roderick, no? I'm sure it was chaos and confusion, but if you can remember anything...
He fought valiantly, my lady.
Of course he did. He was House Forrester's best.
This has been so incredibly difficult for us, especially the children. But I was told you were the last to see my husband alive.
Yes, my lady.
I know it may be difficult to remember, but if I may ask, was there anything he said?
Any last words before he passed? If you can remember. It would mean so much to the family.
He asked me to return this to House Forrester. He said this is where it belongs. With his family.
Thank you.
He did tell me to tell
Garrett.
only my
Of
uncle.
course, my lady.
I'm just following his orders.
It's too dangerous, especially now.
Now is the time to prove our strength
I'll be sure it's given to Ethan.
against aggression. Duncan, this was our land. They were our people. Your family.
I share your outrage, Sir Royland. I do. But now is not the time to provoke the Whitehills. Not with Ramsay Snow coming to see us bend the knee.
The hell with Ramsay Snow, the bastard.
Garrett, you understand what this means. You killed a Bolton, and Ramsay Snow will want his retribution.
We're the ones that should be demanding retribution.
They killed my family.
And they'll pay for what they've done. That much I promise. But now is not the time for vengeance.
If not now, when?
We have to be smart. Ramsay Snow will be here within the week.
And what would you have us do? Nothing.
I would have us use our heads, while they're still attached to our shoulders.
Garrett has lost as much as anyone else within these walls. Maybe you can talk some sense into your uncle.
Garrett's suffered enough already. You ask too much of the boy.
He deserves
He
to
is
be
right. We need to.
My uncle's right. We need to be smart.
smart. Eddard Stark was smart. And look where that got him. So, what's to be done?
Ultimately, it will be for Lord Ethan to decide.
He's just a boy who can barely hold a sword. He knows nothing of how to lead men.
He is the lord of this house, and he needs our help. It's bad enough the Boltons would have us bend the knee and swear fealty. But now, this. I'll accuse you of murder, and us of protecting you.
The boy was just defending himself.
I'm not faulting him for what he did.
I'd have done the same, as any man would.
It wasn't murder. It was justice.
Not in their eyes. It's just the excuse Ramsay Snow would need to put us to the torch and kill us all.
I'd like to see them try.
I'm afraid it's a
God,
risk we
Ramsay
cannot
Snow.
take. Which is why we cannot stay.
Cannot stay. Duncan,
But where would I go?
The one place beyond the reach of even House Bolton.
You're sending him to the wall.
Oh,
The boy's
shiz.
done nothing wrong.
Not in the eyes of the Boltons. I'm afraid it's the only solution. Especially now, when the house is so vulnerable.
Uncle, my place is here. Who would defend the house? You said we need men who can fight.
There'd be nothing we could do to protect you. To stay would bring destruction upon us all. I know that's not what you want. I know it's difficult to understand. But you must think of the house.
I won't put others at risk. I'll go.
I know it doesn't seem fair, but it is what's best.
Jeez.
That settles it then.
You can have my horse, and I'll see you have plenty of food. But we haven't much time. The White Hills will come looking for you.
I need to tell you the message. I have a message for you specifically. Damn it. I didn't tell Lady Forrester because Lord Forrester
Word
told
up
me
to me.
specifically not
I'd
to tell
gladly drive
anyone
a sword
but my
through
uncle.
Lord Whitehill's
So that's
heart if given
why I
a
didn't tell
chance.
her.
I would. And God's willing, someday I will. But for now, I have House Forrester to consider first. I know you want to stay. But Lord Forrester would be proud that you're putting the interests of the house ahead of your own. Many of Lord Forrester's best men have volunteered for the war. His own great-uncle was a ranger with the Night's Watch.
I'll do what's best.
Which often isn't what's easiest, but necessary nonetheless.
I've been waiting for the right moment to tell you.
What?
Lord Forrester asked me to give you a message. He said, the North Grove can never be lost.
Sorry. You caught me by surprise. It's not often discussed, if ever.
He said tell only you.
For good reason. Most don't even know it exists. They think it's just a myth made up by wildlings and fools, and it's better kept that way. I assume you kept your word. You haven't told anyone else, have you? This is important, Garrett. I need to know the truth.
Lady Forrester asked, but I said nothing.
Well done. Lord Forrester was right to put his trust in you. From this day forward, this will be our secret. But soon, I may need your help.
But
I can't say anything more just yet. Just know the North Grove may very well be vital to the future of this house. But don't breathe a word of it to anyone at the wall. Become a ranger if you can. It will help.
Oh, man.
Iron from ice.
Iron from ice.
Remember, you represent House Forrester. Your actions at the wall will reflect the honor and dignity of the house.
I'll make you proud.
You already have.
Damn. Oh, man.
Garrett, wait! Be safe.
Aw. Oh man, this game is so cool. Just getting more Game of Thrones story any way I can is so awesome. Alright, before continuing, I am going to end this episode here. It's a good time. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please click the like button. If you want to see more, please click subscribe. I'll have more episodes coming out on a regular basis of this until I'm finished with it. So, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.